Hi, ho everyone. My name's Mr. Fruit, and welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast, episode 51. In today's podcast, it's just us, the boys, no guest, us in our raw form, our purest form.
We can fart again. You don't have to hold it in anymore, chat. You can let it out. You can
I was supposed to hold him in during the guest.
Oh, I was holding them in. You know, when like you're first holding it, like you're going on dates and it's like you're holding it in. It's like you finally get alone. It's like, that's how I felt with the
I'm
guests.
gonna be honest. I'm a kind of a gassy guy. Going on dates before, like halfway through, it's like it hurts. You're like,
You gotta fight that.
Like, you are right, and it's I gotta give me a second. It's just and you just let it out. Anyway, in today's episode, we talk about a lot of things. Some new hot games coming out of left field. We got Among Us. Some content there, and Fall Guys, it's taken over the world.
We're still falling.
Are arcade party games like this or battle royales the future? Are other people going to hop on this train? We discuss that. So. We have the classic D2 corner, but this time the D2 corner pain meter. Where are we on the scale?
Blue, give us a little preview. Right,
perfect. That's what you have to look forward to. Epic versus Apple. Two giants still swinging it out. We got a Minecraft server. Whole bunch of different stuff. We answer Patreon questions. We get distracted along the way. Oh, Ghost of Tsushima, my thoughts in a review. All that, pseudo review. I wouldn't really call it. That's not important. Hey, welcome to the podcast. If you're new, glad to have you. If you're watching, thanks for watching. If you're listening, thanks for listening. Let's get into it. Welcome back. Welcome.
Okay.
Right. Welcome
now
back
we're gonna have on
to
us
the GG Over Easy podcast.
No.
What?
No. You gotta restart that.
What?
You can't welcome back to the
what? There's like this mosquito flying around here.
Okay, let's take it.
It's not even a jump scare because this isn't the intro.
Yeah, you're right. This is kind of like
fair. Yeah, this is anyway. Right. So like
starting it off hot.
People that don't listen
you're
anyway.
Mosquito? Ew.
Yeah, dude, that's what I was like. Been bothering me.
Oh, dude. Okay, wait. Can I? Okay, quick tangent right off.
Oh yes,
okay.
The old quick tangent.
Dude, there is. I'm not kidding you. A wasp nest in front of the tree in front of my apartment. I'm not kidding you, bro. It is like the size of this shoe. And then like take a diameter of like the shoe and like a perfect circle. It is like huge, like a basketball size, bro. And like the wasps in there are scared.
Are you gonna buck up to them or not? Like what's happening?
No, dude, it's way like there was one time like it was like my junior year of college. I had like a cardboard box out on like the patio of like my apartment. I must have had it out there for like 7 or 8 months. Lord knows why I had it out there. It was moving and I just left stuff out there. Turned into this giant wasp nest. So I had to buy this spray and I would literally stand from like my room and like they make the spray purposely so it like flies like 30 feet when you spray it.
Right. No, yeah.
So like oh, bro, like, and then you like, but this one, bro. Like these wasps look mean, dude. Like they just look like how you know what Sawyer was like. They look different, bro. These things
look different, dude.
They're built different, man.
Have you?
I gotta get a picture of it and like you can maybe post it. And it is huge.
Have you seen the video? I'm trying to remember, and I don't remember why he does this, but he just films himself. And he goes in front of his house, whatever, has a stepladder, goes up, and there's a wasp nest. And he just takes it, grabs it with his hand, and crushes it. All the bees are going, and then he puts it into his mouth and starts chewing it.
What are you watching?
It was on like Reddit front page someday. But he was just like...
wasp nest or a bee nest?
It was wasps.
Okay, cool. And, sick. We don't appreciate bee killing.
And, well, yeah, no, not that either. But it was like... I'm trying to remember, like, there was no point to it. And you're like, it can't get worse. And it just continuously got worse. And he was saying, like, I don't feel pain or something. I don't know. It was bizarre. But I'm glad I watched it because it was something. Man.
Blue, you live in Texas. Do you deal with roaches? Like, that's like your pest, right?
Oh wait, do you guys not deal with roaches in Colorado?
No, never.
I'm gonna move.
It's too high. Colorado's too high. Like they can't live up here.
They can't climb all this way.
That
I'm going to Colorado. That's what I'm doing. That's where I'm going.
That's too high.
We in Texas we have some pretty gnarly roaches, and it's my least favorite thing. I can't handle roaches. See, I could kill like spiders. We're chilling. I love spiders. Right? Spiders kill other homies that
we
hurt
love
you.
spiders.
We love spiders.
Do
but
we?
like when it comes to like roaches, when it comes to roaches, like I actually like there's something in me just like it triggers like fight or flight, and I want to flight so bad. I hate roaches, but like I know I have to fight because like if I don't, then it's gonna just be walking around in my. It's gonna be walking around in my space, dude. So I can't.
Oh, maybe you just make friends with Carl, dude. He's just vibing.
No, Carl's dead, bro. I'm not handling that. No, he's dead.
Pour one out for Carl, dude. What the heck?
I just don't know how to deal with this wasp situation. Do like I handle it, or do I like go to my landlord? I just know at one point like it's just gonna be too windy.
I say you just go up there and
because like it's not high up in the tree, and like thankfully it's not on like my side of the driveway. It's like on the other side. It's like on the neighbor's kind of side, and it's like right there where you would like park your car and get out and go into your car. It is sketch. And Sydney was like, "Are you gonna go to like the neighbors and like talk to them about it?" And I was like, "No." I was like they clearly know it's neighbors.
Like, hey, we need to talk about these wasps.
Yeah, I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, I don't care. Like, if it falls and they get stuck, I mean, like, sure, like I care, but like, is it my responsibility? It's on their side. So
one of those.
Yeah,
huh?
you know, like that's what I said. Sydney's like, I really like think we should handle this, Robert. And I was like, Sydney, like, I get it, but I stood and I was like, it is leaning more on their side. So I was like,
if we get the ruler out, I mean, it is like 70-30.
But yeah, I just don't want, and like I would do something about it, but I feel like, you know, like when you mess with like a bunch of insects and in cartoons they form like a giant fist and punch you or something like that. That's what I feel.
Oh, that will happen.
Like, yeah, I feel like this wasp nest, if I go like, psst, like it'll just a giant fist of bees just comes out and punches me like that, and I'm not about that. I got to get a screen grab of it, but I don't know why I thought of wasps real quick, but
yeah, where did that even? Oh, I guess because mosquitoes or something.
Oh yeah, you're trying to kill that mosquito, and I just thought about pests.
I will say though, side note as well to your side note, as it always goes. We have some friends in Florida who live off like near the coast, and what is it? Like 4 neighbors down. They decided, you know, we love bees, we want to help, so they started a bee farm.
Ooh.
Which is like, okay, like save the bees, right? But she has videos where she'll be sitting by the porch door. She won't even go out onto her porch, and you just hear, and you open up the porch, bees everywhere. Like her light, you can't even see it. It's just a mold of bees, and she's 4 houses down. I'd rather have it be
moths.
Yeah, so imagine what everyone else is doing even closer to it. So these bees are everywhere and like overrunning the place.
And these are honeybees, correct? Like these are like
I think so, yeah.
These are nice bees.
Yeah, nice.
Like, you know,
but
yeah, these things are.
We want to save the bees, but do we want them everywhere all the time? Like it's literal white noise. Like you might as well be next to the highway. And one of my neighbors, when I met him at the beginning, when I moved in, he was saying something like, yeah, I think I might want to do a bee farm. And I was like, I'm all about saving the bees, but I'll take you to court.
Away from me.
Because he's like, he's not the backyard right behind me, but the one next to it. So he's like diagonally behind me. And
so, but your backyards connect, like you guys.
Yeah, like at the corner.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, man, I respect those bees, but let's do that somewhere else, not in the middle of this neighborhood.
You'd be surprised how docile bees are. Like no meme.
They'll be everywhere though.
I've never been stung.
Yeah,
but also like that's not a thing that they can contain, and it's just them now. Now everyone in the neighborhood is going to be like, where are all these bees? Why are they here? And I ain't about that. So I want to save the bees.
Have you ever been stung?
Plenty of times.
Really?
I hate it. You know. I have like an unnatural fear.
I've been stung. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's interesting because I almost drank a bee one time because it went into my Coke can one time and I didn't realize it. So I almost drank a bee. Like
was it just like sweet nectar?
Slid in. I was like, delicious Coca. What the fuck is? And then it was a bee, and I was like, you would think that would mentally scar me as a kid, but for some reason it didn't.
I bet that bee's feeling real good though. All that sugar, he's like, man, this ain't that bad.
He like recovered and flew away, and I was like, all right, chill. I mean, see you, buddy. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm
surprised. I feel like I mean, I guess I don't know that much, but I feel like maybe the soda would have made it so they couldn't fly. I don't know, weighed them down or stuck to their wings.
Hey man, he figured it out. He did his thing. He figured it out. You know what else we finally figured out?
No.
How to read reviews at the start of podcasts.
Yes, we did.
We haven't done in quite a while, and we also have new reviews.
Pog.
Rob is back just in time.
Wait, you did what now?
Yeah.
You just took a picture?
Yeah, I had to go. Well, I had to go put something out in the front. Well, I had to go put some out in the front yard because Sydney sold something on Facebook Marketplace. But
is that like Zoomer Craigslist or something?
Yeah, it's like I don't know. She's like, I sold like this thing. Facebook Marketplace, I guess, is the place to like find stuff. I have no idea.
All right.
Yeah, she's always buying and selling on Facebook Marketplace.
She's moving the market, man. Playing it, Well, good for her.
So before we get to that Fortress of Wasps, we have a review today.
From who?
We have a review from Wild Beaver 224.
Oh, thank you.
Wild Beaver says, "The perfect podcast, 5 stars. Longtime listener, first time reviewer. This is the only 112-star rated podcast. It is excellent. I listen to this every Saturday mowing lawns, and the mix of off-topic rants and Rob's question corner with the occasional Mr. Fruit from Dado makes me smile and makes existence a little less painful. I highly recommend this podcast."
But it still be painful though.
Still be a little painful.
Still be doobie doo. Thank you very much, Beaver, for that review. If you want to review us,
Beaver,
just it has to be 5-star.
Yeah. Thanks.
That's the first rule.
Is there such a thing as like chilling out or whatever? Or like, is that
anything below 5? No.
Because I know like there was like one mobile game. I think I saw it on Reddit where like it would be like, hey, you enjoy our game? Go like rate us a review or something, and it would like it either knew what star you would give it or like in the mobile app you're like give us a rating. You'd be like 3,
yeah,
and it'd be like, are you sure? And you go like 2, like. But what about like so you had to do 5 to get out of it, and then there are other ones that like give us 5 stars and you'll get this bonus. I guess that's essentially where like, hey, give 5 stars, we might read it. So
you may be noticed by senpais.
5 stars, or we will literally kill you. Like you will die.
Chances are we forget to actually read it.
Like last week, but we should note this is the first podcast of just the boys. It's been a little while.
Yeah, we kind of
like
we went on what, like a 10 episode streak or something like that with guests.
That's right. Hey, we said
did a pretty good job.
We said episode 40 through 50 would be guests, and what was it? It was guests.
Episode 40. Yeah, we did great. We actually we're owning.
There was one point we were a little unsure. There was one point.
Yeah,
we almost did a duo podcast with just me and Fruit, but we figured it out.
Yeah,
but
scheduling be damned.
Yeah, but we're thinking about doing guests, but just like maybe once every month or something like that, like once every 4 episodes, or kind of sprinkle them in, you know.
But I mean, we get it. People don't want to listen to guests. We're more interesting than any guest we could get. They're like,
we are the guest every episode.
That's what I'm saying, man.
This week we have BlueWestlo.
Hey guys, I'm so honored to be on this 5-star rated podcast. In fact, this is one of the highest podcasts on Apple Podcasts. I'm just so honored to be on here.
Wow,
you did your research beforehand.
So honored. Yeah. 100%.
Why don't you tell us a little about yourself? We like to start with the lore corner. So we can start with Blue. Okay. We know your lore, sillies. So that's what's happening over here at GG Over Easy. And next week is actually a year.
That's
of
great.
Episodes.
Are we going to do anything?
Record a podcast?
Probably.
I don't know.
I don't even do something for my birthday. Like, what do you want from me?
Yeah, your birthday is coming up, huh?
It is.
Are you actually doing anything?
Well, it just so happens to be in the middle of the mini moon we're taking. But we're not really doing anything. Yeah, so because we had like our wedding, and we were supposed to. We were pretty much, I think, in like 3 days. I would normally be going on what was supposed to be our honeymoon until. Well,
can we spill the deets on what the actual honeymoon was, or what it used to be, or is it still going to be that? Or
yeah, next year. Well, they wouldn't fully refund it. Nobody's doing that. You would think they would. Anyway, so we had to move the dates. So we're doing it next year whenever we're able to, hopefully somewhere around the same time frame. But I'll be going to Bora Bora. And
how do you get to Bora Bora?
You just swim.
Oh, okay. Thank you, man. I really do appreciate that.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like, do you go like?
You got to go to LA.
Okay.
You go to LA, and then you meet somewhere. I think in like Mexico. Then you start taking just some flights out to wherever the fudge, something like that.
I thought Bora Bora was like in like Singapore, Asia kind of islands. Or am I totally wrong?
Oh wait, I'm thinking of going to Cancun.
Yeah,
you're not wrong. You still go to LA, but then I think
Singapore or something like that.
You take Thailand. You take a long flight, and then you land in whatever Bora Bora is in. Like, you technically, the place we're at is like an island. So technically we land and we stay like the peninsula for like a day or two. Then you take a small like passenger plane over to the little island. And then we'll be there for a couple days. But obviously not anymore. So
why not anymore? Scheduling conflicts or like
just it just didn't really work out,
Damn, unfortunate.
That sucks,
COVID.
Man.
It's COVID. Anyway.
Okay.
So we're doing a mini moon for like our wedding, and so we're just spending like 3-4 days out in just like a city, like 30 minutes from us. We're nothing crazy. Just get out, be detached for a little bit, just spend some time together. And my birthday falls in those days that we.
Okay.
So
nice. I thought we were gonna do something.
Oh my god.
What, 26, man? Hey, get your own health insurance. That's what that means. Get your own health insurance.
I did find out mine lasts until the end of the year though, so
yeah, mine does too. I found that out like the other day. My dad was like, "Hey, I just want you to know."
Yeah. That means I get to take advantage of 3 more months, and I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wait. That reminds me. I need to write that down.
What?
My driver's license expires on my birthday. And if I don't do it before then, I have to like get recertified.
Recertified? What does that mean?
Yeah, like if you don't renew your license by the day, and you go back in, you have to like take the whole test again and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that's my birthday on the day.
I should get my license tomorrow. So
because I remember 4 years ago, I think it's 4 years ago, I forgot, and I went in on my birthday. And if I'd gone in 1 day later, I wouldn't be allowed to drive. So
I think I had lost my ID, so I had to go in to get a new ID anyways. So that issued me just a new one because I had lost it at some point.
Oh, mine is a relic of the past. It's one of the few licenses you'll see where I'm smiling because they don't let you in. Me too.
Yeah, Sydney got her new one, and I feel bad, dude. They make you look like it's like a mugshot. It's bad. Like. She was literally saying they like told her to put her hair back, and they're like, okay, now look up, and they like took it right as she was like right there. And
now hold this up and
it's
and turn to your
like
left.
Sydney's like, can I retake that? And she's like, nope. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I have to go to the DMV tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, we noticed when we went in to do the marriage license or whatever, it was a lot easier to get in because not many people were going to that like civil part of the building. But there was a line of like probably 30 individuals outside just wrapped for the DMV. Because you have to like call and make appointments, and only one person's allowed in. So one person goes in, does the thing, comes out, then the next person.
I'm at 9:45 and I have to get like my license. Like I have to like because I got my new car, and like it was supposed to be like renewed like April or something like that, and then it was just like because of COVID hit, and now it's like now they're finally really starting to do appointments. So 9:45 tomorrow. You know, well, I'll be pissed off somewhere.
Well, you know what we don't have to be pissed off about? Unrailing or re-railing this podcast. That's right. We're putting the train back on the tracks. We're back, even though we started off topic. Among Us.
Among Us has been so tight.
It's a new game. Well, I guess it's not new, but we've just been playing it, and it's just been popping off. I feel like it was just... I just heard about it from Twitch.
Yeah, well, I just saw like XQC and like all those guys playing it, and then Ohm like messaged us and was like, have you guys ever thought about playing Among Us? And I was like, oh, like, good luck trying to get 8 of us, like, trying to record a video. And, like, luckily, everybody loves it. So it's everyone's like, anybody want to do Among Us? Everyone's like, yes.
And Pong.
It's sick.
And for those that haven't seen it, it's on the YouTube channel, but it's like, it's a social deception kind of game. It's like you combine, like, Werewolf, if you know that, Mafia, Town of Salem, Trouble in Terrorist Town. Kind of throw all those together and you get Among Us. And I think the cool part about Among Us is if you're not the imposter, you have something to do to keep you busy. Like you run around, you have tasks, and then if you're done with tasks, you try and play detective.
Yeah.
And then if you are the imposter, it's still about trying to be sneaky, but in different ways, and you're able to do a little bit more. And then the interesting part about it all, too, is the fact that you can't hear each other. Which at first I was like, what? But then only being able to hear people in discussion makes it really funny. And then also makes it way too chaotic because everyone's sitting on like 3 minutes of stuff they want to talk about. So it's just like, blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, Sonic laughing and getting voted off. And then he's like, oh, wait. And then he's dead.
My finest.
He was literally like, you guys didn't even let me explain. It's like, Sammy, you were literally just laughing for 55 seconds. It's like, what more do I need to hear?
So in Sammy's defense, right? You guys saw him vote me, and then like he still had 45 seconds left to explain, but you guys immediately voted him off.
Yeah, but he didn't make an effort until we voted to be like, hey, wait, here's my side of the story.
See, but this is why I love Among Us so much, is because like during Trouble in Terrorist Town, if I tried to pull that, I would have just been dead. Would have been dead on the spot. But in Among Us, you have
taking the shot.
You have these moments where you can just like genuinely make a case for yourself, figure out like, okay, I just got caught. What the fuck do I do? Blame Sammy, and then it works, and you win the round. Like it's just
that easy.
I think it's dope. I mean, even Fruit, right? Like Fruit bamboozled a lot of us. Fruit sure as hell bamboozled Arios.
He didn't bamboozle me.
He didn't bamboozle Rob. But then you have trolls like Dorg. I'm still mad at that. But
me too.
But it's like it's a completely social Trouble in Terrorist Town, right? And that's what makes it so special.
Yeah, because it more so relies on the social aspect rather than like the shooting and kind of plotting kind of thing. And it's also like the commands are super easy just from like, and it's like just engaging enough to kind of keep you in track, and then you go around. So, and it also promotes like being on your own and not just kind of grouping up together and all that kind of stuff. It's super fun. And I like how, because everybody I think is like a really good liar when we play with each other. So I think it's just a ton of fun. And I'm glad the content has been popping off.
Content. I will say next time we do it though, everyone's like, you need more than one imposter. Well, you're going to get 2. And the thing is, with the group we had, with how many we had, we tried 2 imposters. It just didn't work.
They just rolled
way too easy.
Yeah.
And I feel like 1 is just enough where like you can make it. You
pull
can
it off.
win.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like it genuinely feels closer to a 50-50 that way.
And when you do pull it off, like as the one imposter, it's like, I just owned. It's a good feeling. You know, it's like, oh yeah.
It will be cool to see 2 imposters, how they play off each other and the stuff they're able to pull off, because you can like cover for each other now. So now the classic, well, I was with Ohm in the corner, so we're cool. Now that'll be like, wait, yeah, you 2 are cool.
It still
That's
is.
A little... But then it's kind of like, well, you 2 could be the imposters, you know?
Yeah.
So there's that aspect of it. We're also going to change it to where if you die, you'll go into another room where you can actually talk to everyone else that's dead. So while we're just chilling and literally just sitting there going like guys, it's Rob, please. Like, come on, guys, you know this. And then you're listening.
But then,
to
like, as soon as discussion goes, you go back into there, right, and mute, right, and just listen.
But every time you're a ghost and you know who it is, and then you enter discussions, you're just sitting there like, like somehow the only person not mentioned every time is the person that killed you. You're just like, oh.
My favorite is when you get the imposter screen. It says imposter, and you go, "Oh my god!"
It was literally. I looked. I had 6 hours of Among Us playtime before I got my first imposter round, and that's why too. Like Blue's like, "You're the most." I was literally like on cooldown. I'm like, sick, kill. 3, 2, 1, kill. Like
we're so off. I was so mad because how do you know? I mean, Arios, poor dude. Look, but Arios, I expected that.
Poor guy.
And Rob had nothing to work with, right? Because Dork and Arios are the only two left, and I was like, he's a genius. He picked the people least likely to vote him off.
To put anything together.
Yeah, and the Dork's like, I'm the imposter. And it's like, no, you're not, Dork. I know that it's Christian. No, I'm the imposter. It's like, all right, you're the imposter, Dork. It's like, yes, if you believe hard enough, Dork, yes, you are truly the imposter.
It's just really
that's like
funny.
if I get imposter round like teammate, and the last person I think I want is Dork. I think I'd rather have like anybody else with Dork, because then he could just be like, I'm the imposter, and it's like, fuck, how do I play off of this? How do I play off of that? Like,
but see, he's built this rapport with us though at this point that it's like that could be it or not. Like you really just like Dork is literally a wild card. You never know.
What is
and
it? Chaotic,
if he is imposter,
like
no, like chaotic neutral. He's just chaotic. Like
just
he can be imposter and he'll never do the imposter things, or he won't be and he'll be as sus as possible. Like it's and
then sometimes Blue joins in on that.
No. It's just a lot of fun, and I think it's nice and refreshing for us. So we're enjoying
and
that.
You're drawing the thumbnails.
Yeah,
I saw you. Yeah, how is that? Like they look nice. I was wondering how you were getting those. I didn't know if they were screen grabs.
Well,
but see, dude, I was gonna say, I was like, is that John Silver or is that Mr. Fruit? I can't tell.
Yeah. Well, no, originally I was gonna get like my regular thumbnail artist to do it, but she hasn't been able to do stuff in a while. So I was like, I'll figure something out, and I can't do screen grabs because the resolution is potato.
They're very mini, yeah. Like, and then you stretch it out, it'd be compression.
So, like the very first one we did was pretty much, I just took some models, went with it, did the background and everything. But then like this most recent one was just all freehand. That was fun. But they're just fun to do because like the art style itself,
it's pretty simple.
It's nothing too complicated. It's something a chimp like me can manage. So. Yeah,
I couldn't draw that. I don't think. I mean, me and my Alaskan bullworm have some thumbnails to draw for you. I mean, I technically have drawn some thumbnails for you. If you think about true.
It. Yeah, if you go back to the Scriblios and the.
I think when you were drawing that, you were like, "What? How did he even like?"
I can't even do it like him. It's so strange. Pardon your regularly programmed podcast listening for this short ad break.
This program was made possible by contributions to your GG Over Easy podcast from viewers like you. And these producers: Annabelle the Dark, Grayscale, Grizz, Blackbird Logan, Blue Shotgun, CC Coon 91, Crescenzio, Wersh 51, Green Pete, Grizzly Stag, Hedron Crab, Jacuvius Jr., Jake 11 Raptor, Mr. Aries, Mr. Goodbites, Omega Arts 290, Rex Mechanica, Rodeo, Safe, Vaxi, Whoa, and Zigzag Gubu. Thank you.
But okay, so you have Among Us, right? Now that's kind of like a fun kind of party, arcade deception kind of game.
I see the segue you're trying to make.
And then you got Fall Guys.
It's a bit of a stretch, but I like it.
Yeah, you like that kind of?
It was okay.
Which do you like to play more, Fall Guys or Among Us?
Among Us.
Yeah, I think so. But Fall Guys is a lot of fun. I
mean, I don't like Fall Guys. Was it Blue?
Well, I mean, I was gonna ask about because you guys have been playing Fall Guys a lot on your channel.
You haven't played it at all yet, have you?
I have not. No.
Just Final Fantasy.
Why
14?
Is that?
He's balls deep in Final Fantasy, bro.
He's deep.
And you can't even just take a break to gotta try and get some crowns, bro.
Oh, dude, Yokai event just came out. I had to grind fates for like 24 hours.
Did you get a dope mount though?
I got 3 dope mounts. It was tight.
That's sick.
Hey.
I'm all about the mounts. If you get the mounts, sick.
Like it was worth it. All right,
that's all I'm gonna ask about.
Makes sense.
I was gonna say, Fall Guys been blowing up pretty hardcore. Like, even I love the Fall Guys Twitter account. I don't play the game, but I follow Fall Guys for the Twitter account. Great Twitter account.
Well,
they took
good marketing.
They took like a page out of like the Wendy's, like the
just like a full meme.
Just kind of meme it up and kind of just.
Which is funny because so many brands are doing that now. Not just like Fall Guys, but like bigger brands, like Burger King and.
But that's a good point to bring up. Like
that is
definitely some hit or misses.
But like there's like Denny's. I'm trying to think like literally just like corporate food people are like just do what Wendy's doing, dude. Like just meme it up and some like 17-year-old.
Arby's has like a very memey kind of gaming kind of.
And some like
Twitter.
junior in high school is like sick. I'll do the job and just like
need a social engineer, like social media manager. Which I don't know. Sometimes it could be fun, but then sometimes if you do the wrong thing, if you have a joke that lands flat, it's like, well, and you're out.
And you're done for.
No, but like I go ahead.
Please.
I was thinking that like I was saying the worst thing that could happen for Fall Guys is Tim the Tatman actually getting like a crown. I was like, this whole. Oh, what?
That he got a crown.
Can I spoil it? Yo, keep doing that. Yeah, he got a crown yesterday, dude.
Yeah. He got his crown. Well, no, that's what I mean. I know he got a crown. Well, I was saying at the time.
I thought I was like gonna have to break it, like break.
I was gonna say, like, how did you miss that?
Look, man, I don't know how to tell you, bro, but
everywhere.
Yeah, no, I saw it. I was saying like at the time because like it started kind of small and then it kind of found traction with like this let's meme on Tim, and then that took on like almost its own kind of in-game event on its own. You know what I mean? Like Tim winning a crown was like an in-game event. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's remarkable. I was like, the worst how bad he was. Like you would think he would know. Like he plays games for a living. Like something has to transfer. No, like I would watch early on, and it was like, man, this is what like the comment section must feel like when they're like, dude, it hurts to watch. I'm like,
yeah, you don't want to be a backseat Andy with him.
No. Although I did have the stream. I watched it live when he got the win.
Oh.
And it was actually like insane timing. I was doing a recording. Finished the recording and I'd had his stream paused or whatever. So I was like, oh, I'll just see like how he's doing. I click it and the hexagon round just starts.
Oh.
And I watched the match and all go. I was like, wow, I was there. He was number one.
Did you type in the chat I was there or I was here?
No, I didn't.
Then you weren't there.
You couldn't have even. Yeah, you didn't. It didn't exist. You couldn't see any chat from the wall of Twitch Prime subs.
I don't care if you don't type I was there in the chat. You weren't there.
I was there. Pog you. Yeah, I wasn't. It was pretty cool. It was just like something really cool to witness.
How many people did he have watching?
320,000 people or something.
Jeez, man.
Just that's before this whole Fall Guys thing. His cap was like 80,000 during like some tournament a while ago.
That's his highest?
Before this, yeah.
Really?
I found that really Fall hard Guys, like a couple days ago, it hit like 110, 100, and then like 200, 250, 300. And everybody was joking, like, if I was Tim, I'd keep losing. Like,
oh, no.
Just keep it going.
But it's like... Then you're memed for being bad at a children's game. Like,
are you that upset if you have like 500,000 at that point? People watching.
I'm saying, dude, like, I don't care how bad I am. Like, if you getting paid like that, dude, I would be
But like, it's like so funny. Like, but I feel like I could tell if he was throwing on purpose. Like the way he was losing,
oh yeah, 100%.
You could tell.
Yeah, dude,
like,
there was pain too.
He was really trying his little heart out, man. I felt really bad at some times. I was like, this poor guy. Like, I'm sure the tens of thousands of dollars is nice, but like,
after I saw him get a win, it had been a couple days since I played. I was like, man, like, what if I'm as bad as Tim? Let me see. So I boot up one game real quick. I win. First game. And I'm like, all right, I'm not as bad. I got off. I was like, nice.
Did you get content like out of that?
No, I wasn't even recording. I was literally just like, I'm just going to, before I do this next thing, I'm literally just going to like hop a game real quick, see if I can win. And then I won. I was like,
what'd you win on?
Hexagon.
Oh,
it was like fate.
That's tight.
And I was just like, why can't I do this when I record?
All right, let me ask you, Christian. Your Fall Guys tier list. I love my tier list. I mean, just like your favorites and then the ones that just got to go. And then we could just leave the mid tiers out.
Hexagon's the best. For sure.
Yeah, I agree. There's nothing like a hexagon. It's different every time. It feels good. Make it a square, make it a cube, make it a triangle sometimes. I don't give a fuck. Like, it's sick. Like, if you do, like, instead of the tail grab one when there's 4 or 3 people and it automatically does tail grab, maybe it does a little version of hexagon and they're like maybe triangles or something like that. Like just maybe a little variation.
Don't ask me. I mean, I would like, and I think at this point they have to because it's blown their expectations. They weren't expecting, no one could have expected this. The amount of people, like the way this game is exploding. And the thing is, I do think it's going to peter out. I'll give it like another week or two before it really starts to decline, I think. And that's only because it just gets stagnant. Like if they had more mini games, I think it would go a lot further. But they're rotating 24 right now, which, like X amount of those are only final rounds, and then some of those are only like so like some people don't even see them all. So for like most people, it's like the same 10 games, and so it just gets repetitive pretty quick. I still think it's fun, and I think it's especially more fun. 1, if you're like chasing your first win, or 2, you're just goofing around with friends. But I think the fact that they have just X amount of mini games to play, it's a little more difficult for it to hold everybody's attention. So I'll give it a couple weeks before, because like right now it's just like frenzy, right? Like it's craziness. You go on Twitch and it's beating out like League of Legends by like double the viewers. It's insane.
Jeez. So
they either need to start hiring a lot more people and like pump, like essentially do what Epic did. They're like, all right, shut everything down. We're all on Fortnite, whatever.
What EA did for Apex too, like
just
they're like, hey man, throw everyone on it, bro. Just pump this game, dude.
Like, wait, we got something here. Because like,
what? Go ahead.
I was like, imagine if just like every Friday or whatever, they're like new game mode, or like 2 new, or like a new game mode and a new final mode, or something like that, where if they're able to do it every week or do it like every Monday, Friday, something to keep people coming in and out all the time, I think that would help them a lot.
Yeah.
As well as some of the quality of life stuff.
I'll tell you what would put this game over the edge, and it's called Forge or something like a map editor or something like 100%. That, to where you could go on like Steam Workshop or something like that. And somebody made this really fun mini game where it's like hungry hippos, and you're the ball, and you're trying to avoid getting eaten by the hippo or something like that. And if you get eaten, you're disqualified or something like that. Like those little kind of things. And it's like, you almost don't even have to hire, like a bigger team. You just give your community the tools it needs to kind of do that. And then you can implement those kind of games just more polished. I think they could do that. I can't imagine it's that hard.
I mean, it would have to be like only customs, because you'd have to think like somebody could make it like really hard, where like you have to, like Mario Maker, you have to beat the level yourself. Okay, well, only like 2 people have ever beaten the course. You can't just throw that into a rotation.
Yeah.
Like, I think the way Fall Guys did their levels was they made it very approachable, where there was slight skill on some levels, but for the most part, a lot of it's RNG. And I'm just bummed. I don't know, like even just looking at the game at like face value. I feel like there's so much more they could have done. And I think they probably have a lot of ideas. It's just they didn't have the time nor the resources, and they probably didn't think like, hey, we need all this at launch. They're probably, hey, we got like 24 game modes. Like, that's got to be, oh my God, how many people are playing? And so I think that's probably it. They're just not going to be able to upkeep to everyone's hunger, so to speak. But I mean, I think this should wake a lot of people up to the fact that, like, if your game's fun, sometimes that's all there is. Like, it doesn't need to be deeper than that. Like, this is just silly fun that has the best of both worlds. You know, like, if you're competitive or whatever, you can go for your crowns. But otherwise, you're goofing around, playing with your friends. Stuff happens that's infuriating. Stuff happens that's funny. I just think it's that, like, perfect little balance.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played it in a little bit just because I think we've all kind of, like, taken a break from it. But I just need, like you said, more game modes. Like, and then, like you said, it kind of gets stagnant in the sense, like, okay, I know there's 30 people left and we haven't done a team game yet. It's probably going to be tail grab. And then, like, pray to God I'm not on yellow team, so everybody doesn't automatically just team up on yellow. Except when you're on yellow team, you call it gold team. Like, that's just how you get away from that stigma.
I think, too, what they need to do is just fix the desync issues. Because, like, it makes some of those games torture. Like, tail tag in any form is torture.
Tail tag F tier?
Oh, yeah. Take them all out. I don't care. Like the idea is there. And I think it would be fun if it worked. Because, like, I'll be on a dude grabbing him. Won't get a tail. Blah, I'll fall off. And then Joe Schmo, 10 feet down. I can barely see him on my screen. It's like tail stone. I'm like, what? How is it? And it always felt like that one, you literally just load up and go, well, I don't know, hope my team wins or something.
Yeah, I've literally grabbed people in the front, and it has, like, the little sniper icon, and it's like, please grab the tail, please grab the tail. And then, like, I'm running away, like you said, and I'm here, and then it's like, lost your tail. And it's like, how, Sway?
Yeah. But that one's just difficult. Like, there's a difference between being upset when something, you know, random or unfortunate happens to you, but it's a different kind of upset when there's no counterplay. It's because lag or, like, something like that, where it's completely out of, like, and you can't even, it's not very intuitive or fun for you in the first place. Like, tail tag is just torture. So I think if they fix some of that stuff.
But it's important to have those kind of games. Like, I think
I agree. I think it's fine as long as you fix it to where it's an honest game, to where, like, you can play it when things actually work.
All right. You got tail tag or soccer to get rid of. Which one are you picking?
I like soccer.
I hate soccer. I'm over soccer.
I don't mind,
especially when it's odd teams. That's when I get really triggered.
That's when you just gotta try hard.
Okay, so we have Hexagon on S tier. Anything else? Like any other?
Slime climb.
I love slime climb. That's the best one to troll on.
Yeah,
that's the best troll one.
As much as I hate it, seesaw. Like whirly gig,
seesaw.
Hit climb or whatever it's called.
Hit climb's too easy. Like, they need to make that harder. Like, that one is too easy. Like,
well, and people are starting to, like, get way better at it. But I think those are the ones. Those and, like, slime climb are the ones they need to, like, double down on. Like real
make them better
courses. Because I hate the door one. It's like, don't guess the wrong door. It essentially just finishes in a meat pile falling over the cliff, and you just hope you're in the front.
Well, and what sucks too is if you're like a trailblazer and you're like 9 for 10, and then on the last one you happen to pick the one that's on the far right, but it's on the far left.
You're done.
And now all of a sudden you're trying to get into this, like you said, meat grinder that's there. And
so, like, I get that. Like, that one is random and needs to hurt some people out, but it's just not fun. Like, I don't mind if there's randomness and stuff to that, but, like, I think most people, you can't, like, the one before tail tag, I don't even care. Keep tail tag with its strength, but take out perfect match. For the love of God. That one where you have to match the fruit.
That's your most hated one?
Yeah, it's you just queue it up and you're like, well, resident sleeper for the next, like, 2 minutes. Like, nothing's gonna happen.
I look at it as like an auto win and just get, like, the plebs out. Get them out.
But no one gets out. Unless you, like, push people out. Do. Very rarely people get debated. And that's the only time it's interesting. But it's usually just like...
It is true. I literally like look away and then I'll just be like, okay, where's everybody standing at?
Okay, okay, cool.
Yeah,
So,
that one's bad.
Yeah.
But
anyway, I think Fall Guys is exactly what a lot of people needed right now. And again, I think it shows more than anything, fun games like this are where it's at. Like for me, like it's almost a perfect game because I just love mini games. Obviously, you know, from the channel, like custom games, just weird stuff like that. More of that. I don't care
we played kind of games like this, like Pummel Party, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but this is like more like Pummel Party is what you make of it, right? Like, you know, you'll have fun for like 30 minutes or something, but then it gets repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this just takes a whole. It's kind of like Battle Royale Mario Party, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so
we're looking at you, Nintendo.
Yeah, right. And then, can you imagine though if they had the online? You think this is bad, bruh? So
I'd still buy it though.
Yeah, I mean, so would I. But hopefully, we'll see more. Like maybe this is the next Battle Royale. You know, now everyone, all the AAAs are like, "Hey, let's get in on this."
Well, that's what I was just about to ask.
But
is this about to kind of like the? I think because people are seeing it with Among Us too. Is this going to turn into? Is the arcade fun party style friend type game going to turn into the kind of style like everybody's going to throw their kind of thing? You're going to see Xbox version of like the mini game Royale thing, and then you'll see Sony's version of it. Don't get me wrong, I'm down. I've been asking for it for years. Mario Party, quit messing up, dude. Just give us Mario Party the greatest hits, and that's all. That's it. You give us Mario Party the greatest hits. That's all I've ever needed since I was like, what, 7? And like those games are just unlimited content. And I don't need, like you said, like I don't need a board. I mean, I like the board. What do you like better? The board kind of Mario Party or Battle Royale kind of?
I mean, it'd be fine, but I'd be down to just, throw down a gauntlet of minigames.
And just like whoever kind of has the most coins or whatever.
Yeah.
What about you, Blue?
Yeah, I don't know if it'll happen.
Yeah.
Would you rather have like a arcade mini game be like a Mario Party with a board and stuff like that, or would you rather have it be like Fall Guys?
I feel like that's a to each their own situation. I don't know what, like personally. That's too loaded. I can't answer that. What for you? What is for you your preference?
I mean, I like the Mario Party style though. I kind of like.
I feel like the Mario Party style is simpler, right?
Yeah.
But like on a scale of Fall Guys, how do you manage everyone getting all these different tokens?
Yeah,
like it's like instead of having this huge additive system, you get a token, you get a token, you get a token. It's just simpler. Like, all right, well, you failed this mini game, you're out, Bucko.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the best solution you can get. Personally, I prefer Mario parties, right? But like in the sheer scale of things, I feel like Fall Guys is probably the better answer for them.
And the Mario parties lately are just trash. Like, what are they doing over there?
100%. Part of the reason Fall Guys is so successful, obviously, it's a BR, right? And the other part is we don't have a true Mario Party online game, right? No. Like, we don't have. If Mario Party was on, if Mario Party launched with online board game everything,
I'd be down.
People would be playing that all the time, right?
We're liable online. We're liable online.
Yeah. Well, that's asking a lot, but
not even, and for games like Mario Party don't even need reliable online. It's like Nintendo.
I just don't know why they don't. Like, there has to be a reason. Like,
because I imagine it's because they don't need to. They're still probably going to move just as many units. You know, for most of them, it's just like, all right, we could spend this much and do this much, and these people will care about it. But we'll just ship it.
Yeah.
Kind of like maybe with like, you know, Super Smash Brothers. We could cater to our 1% of the 1%, you know, like the competitive community. Or screw it. There's a good enough one where I'm sure if we looked at online stats, majority of the population plays the random online, you know, all 4-player random games, you know. That's probably what most people. So they're like, whatever, it works. Like, who cares? We don't need to do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nintendo just kind of does whatever they want. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's a pega. Yeah.
I was like, so you sometimes get Breath of the Wild, and then sometimes you get
Origami King.
Is that bad?
Well, I don't know.
That's the Mario game, right?
Yeah. So the first part is it's the Paper Mario that came out. They completely did away with turn-based, which is that's what Paper Mario was. That was kind of the charm. I've seen
turn-based.
No, this new one it's just like a normal like action. It's not like take your turns, like Final Fantasy used to be. That's what the original Paper Mario was. So they just did away with that. But then the weirdest thing is, and I guess this goes across literally any Nintendo game, especially Mario. The reason they had, like you fight a box of crayons or like a paper crane, like you didn't fight any real bosses or like get creative with any of the Mario bosses, is because apparently Nintendo has it where like if you use the Mario brand or whatever, they tell you like this is what they are and you can't change it. Like Bowser does this and he'll forever be this, and you can't change what he looks like or how he like any of that. This is Peach. This is like literally like any of the villains, any of the characters. Like you just have to use them as they are. You don't really have any creative freedom, which is why they had to make all the bosses like origami things.
Because I was gonna say, I saw it was like some boss was like a box of crayons or something like that.
Like literally, you fight like colored
markers.
Pencils. Yeah, which can be like like wacky and stuff. But imagine what they could have done with like, okay, it's Bowser with his crayon launcher or something. Something more. But where it's just like
turn-based. Like,
okay, well that's not the point. That's what Paper Mario was when people played it.
How many Paper Marios are there?
2. Or wait, no.
There's more than
3.
2. There's quite a few Paper Marios.
I think there was 2 on GameCube. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
A million could be spin-offs on like 3DS and.
But as far as I'm aware, everyone before this was turn-based.
Well, I saw that it was like a circle, and then like you make the circle, like, and then you make the line of enemies, and then you jump on the enemies. Isn't that a turn? And then your enemy takes a turn on you. That's turn-based, isn't it?
What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Isn't that Mario Party the origami thing, right?
But,
that's literally what the turn-based I've literally seen on it. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the new Paper Mario.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm talking about the Paper Mario. Like that's what it looks like. It like puts them in a ring. I was watching Ab play it the other day.
It's real action, real time action, whatever.
Oh, I guess I'm wrong, but it was just like it looked like he was making them in a ring or something like that. And then if you put him in a perfect line, it does like double damage. It looked dumb to me. Like I was like, I'm not playing that. But
well, Matt, it was probably some mini game, and now you know how I felt when I watched you play Kingdom Hearts 3 and you're square dancing, or I come in
like,
and you're doing some weird like space opera thing. Every time I come in and you're just like, oh God, like no, not now. And I was like, well, when? Every time I come in, it's some. That's probably what you saw in Paper Mario.
I don't know, but you're right. That game was pretty trash.
Just so funny. You're like, trust me, dude. Like this isn't what the whole game is. And every time I tuned in, it was some weird. Side thing like that.
Has Kingdom Hearts had DLC yet?
Yeah, but I haven't given it the time of day. But like, in order to like access the DLC, you had to like beat the game. So yeah, if you had like not beaten the story, you couldn't like access the DLC. But the DLC also like changed some things. Like it also added like critical mode and like some life changes to the game. But like in order to like access the DLC that was added to the game, it wasn't till like I think the later like a third game.
That reminds
another
me.
Mosquito.
No, there is one though. I see it. It's flying around somewhere. I don't know where they're coming from. There must be something open. Anyway, reminds me, 100% games. Freaking, I haven't talked about it at all. It's always been like on the list, but I've never made it. Ghost of Tsushima. Never got to talk about it.
Oh, okay, let's talk about it, Mr. Fruit.
Ghost freaking fantastic.
Tsushima.
Yeah.
The co-op too. The co-op was pretty sick.
I was like, this game can't get better.
Yeah, what is that? I didn't even open it. Like
better
I don't have
get
a PlayStation.
Your PS4. All right, that's what I'm saying. We're getting some content, bro. Gonna be
when
sick.
Does it come out? I have to buy a PlayStation for
like later probably late, like October, November. I don't know.
It's not coming out for PS5.
I'm sure. Well, they haven't announced anything, but I'm sure there's going to be like a definitive Ghost of Tsushima PS5 version. They'd be really stupid not to. And I'll buy it and I'll play it again. Because that reminded me when you said they added chaotic or whatever in Kingdom Hearts. I need my new game plus.
Critical mode.
Yeah, critical mode. I need my new game plus. That should be their next free update. Although they've already been doing plenty. I want to play through that game again because mid playthrough, I did the whole playthrough on my second channel. After like 10 episodes, they released an update and added an even harder mode. So at the time, I was on the hardest mode. Then they added an even harder mode. I was like, oh, shoot. So I ramped it up again, played through it. So much fun. And then on top of that, they just, like Blue mentioned, they just announced a new co-op mode coming, completely free and completely separate from the main story. You can either go in with one co-op friend and I forget, you go through like co-op missions and there's like some story about like some folk tales from back in the old days of, samurai and stuff. But then if you go in with 3 or more, you can like matchmake, and then you have like a wave-based horde mode with all these classes. Like each person is a class. You have like the ranger, the ronin, the samurai, and like the warrior or whatever. And then you play through that. And I'm just excited too because it just means I get to enjoy the combat more. I love the combat. It's just so much fun to me. So you get to do that. And then I platinum the game, which I can't tell you the last time I did that, 100% it. And it was just the story, man, so good. And the dichotomy of the issues in the game, the moral issues, are so much more interesting. Yes.
What does dichotomy mean?
The best way I could, like, the way it contrasts between something else. Like, I don't know. If you compare two completely different things. Okay. So, in this case, the moral problem here is you're a samurai. Samurai code of honor, all that kind of stuff. You're always honorable, and you'll die before you be unhonorable or something like that.
Before you have your honor questioned.
Yes. And I believe it's more so like the code of Bushido or something like that. But that's what they follow. However,
Bushido.
At the beginning of the game, the interesting thing too is this is on my bucket list now. I want to go to Tsushima. Be super dope. The beginning of the game.
It's a real place?
Yeah. This is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I'll explain what it's based off of. So at the beginning of the game, you and 80 other samurai lined up at the beach, Komoda Beach, I believe. And all the Mongols have arrived. You see like all the ships in the distance. They're starting to hit the mainland. 80 samurai. That's all you guys got. Against, I forget, when I looked it up, it was about 20,000 Mongols, I believe. Spoilers. The samurai lose. So
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah. Wow. So in real life, that's where it ends. That was it. The Mongols invaded and took over Tsushima, and then they did their whole thing. Mm-hmm. But in this game, you go, you get knocked down. Your uncle is leading the samurai. He's the Jito of Tsushima, which is essentially like there is the shogun, the samurai shogun, and he's on the mainland of Japan. Imagine he's the president, and then the Jito is like a governor.
Okay.
So his uncle is like the Jito. He's leading the fight there. They're honorable, like the way a samurai would fight. They go into battle, all that kind of stuff. Just slaughtered everyone. The Koten Khan, which is like the main.
Wait, the Jito is slaughtering everybody, or he got slaughtered?
The samurai get slaughtered.
Okay.
Including him. Now he doesn't die. The Koten Khan captures him, which is their leader, and I believe he is the grandson of Genghis Khan. And so he captures your uncle, and you see this, and then you get knocked out or unconscious, and somebody saves you. That's part of the story. Blah blah blah. But so from there, you're like the last samurai essentially. Your uncle is alive, but he's captured, so you need to go free him. So immediately early in the game, you have this person that saved you, and she knows these shadier ways to go about things, and you realize You're a samurai, you have honor, but you're up against all these Mongol warriors. All the odds are against you. So do you uphold your honor but sacrifice all your people? Or do you break your code in order to save countless lives, but then be seen as a traitor to your people, samurai everywhere?
Dishonorable.
Yeah. And as you find out, your uncle doesn't matter. He's still just like, we stick to the samurai code. Like, it doesn't matter. He wants to do the same thing when he wants to fight again. This isn't really big spoilers. But when he wants to fight again, he wants to do the same thing they did at the beach, which is essentially just like line up, you look your foe in the eyes, and charge. Like, well, we saw exactly how that goes, but he's like, that's the way of the samurai. So Jin, you're going through this whole entire journey, and you're having to be the samurai, but also the ghost, which is the nickname you get. And that's you when you are dishonorable.
Yeah, that's when you're being a badass.
Yeah, like assassinating people. You would never do that.
You're like a ninja.
Yeah, so you can be honorable sometimes. Like, I can approach a fort and like call a standoff. I'll just be like, hey, send your best warrior, instead of like showing up. Yeah, and so you have like a little duel. And then they watch, and if you beat that, you like kill everyone else. So there are ways to go honorable. Sometimes you have to be dishonorable, but it's just so much fun, and so interesting to see how it all plays out. And and then you get to make this really interesting decision at the end of the game, which I won't spoil. But it all ties it all really, really well. And then of course the game itself, yes. Wrong.
Did you like playing the game in more of a dishonorable style, or did you like being honorable samurai?
Dishonorable.
Okay.
I mean, I liked all the but like I RP'd, and also I loved this. I would get comments saying when I would make decisions and stuff, like especially the final decision, someone said like, Mr. Fruit, you RP too much. And my answer to that was, this is an open world RPG. Do you know what RPG stands for? Role playing game. That's the point of an RPG. So it was more fun for me to go through it, and even if I didn't always necessarily act or talk as if I was Jin, like I didn't do the whole playthrough pretending to be Jin, the protagonist. But when you make decisions and stuff, you try and see it from the eyes of the person you're playing in the world they're in. And for me, as Jin, accepting the consequences, knowing what I would do to be dishonorable, but going through and doing it all, it was like a self-sacrifice. Like, the people will love you, but like the shogun will, want me dead or whatever. And like, I'll be stripped of my samurai title and all this kind of stuff. And I'll forever be branded as dishonorable and all this kind of stuff. But it's at the, whatchamacallit, the sacrifice of being able to save my island, my people, and like fend off Mongol invaders. So that's the way I saw it. And it was really fun.
So I have a big question for you here.
Oh boy.
Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, what's the other one? The one that almost killed your channel. Sekiro.
I forget.
Give me those like in your three, like your top three, those three.
Oof.
Because like those are like what you've done, like other than Pokemon, right? Those are like what you've done playthroughs on of your channel, right?
I think
outside of Pokemon, right? I don't think so. Like there's been.
I mean, we did Cuphead.
Oh, that's S. Well, that nothing beats that.
Well,
that's S tier.
Cuphead's dope. Let me look at. I feel like
that's
there's
S tier. Like, come on.
Like there's one more. I got halfway through Red Dead, but I was trying to juggle Red Dead and Pokemon Let's Go, and then my main channel, and it just that was a mistake.
Something had to make something.
And I was just like, I shouldn't have. So that's why I'm very careful about when I do Let's Plays now. It's like, if I start this, I gotta finish it. Blue and I did Portal 2, but again, that's a bit different. I did Moonlighter. I did a full Let's Play Moonlighter.
Oh yeah.
And I did a co-op of Temtem, which is more similar to Pokemon.
Oh, Temtem. I have opinions on that, but for another time.
I would love to dissect those opinions sometime.
I'm sure Temtem devs won't.
No, please. No, stop.
No, please don't give us your opinion. Stop.
Number 1, God of War. Number 2, Ghost of Tsushima. Number 3, Sekiro.
Wow, Ghost of Tsushima.
Dude,
Wow,
you've really become a weeb.
So is this your game of the year then so
the
far?
Full transition
So
to
far.
weebhood.
Yeah,
I would say easily game of the year so far.
over Among Us.
Well, I mean, technically that didn't even come out this year.
Did it
but
not?
Last year.
yeah.
Oh.
Pardon your regularly programmed podcast listening for this short ad break. But I think the reason I would put it above Sekiro, I still think, as much as I love Tsushima combat, I think Sekiro edges out a little bit. But in contrast, the way I'm able to immerse myself, how gorgeous the game is, and then the story. Sekiro had an interesting story, but Sekiro hooked me more. Tsushima hooked me more. So I'd say I'd edge that out. But like realistically, it'd be like God of War, and then like Tsushima, Sekiro, like practically right on the same playing field. But I would put it up there with Horizon Zero Dawn for me, for open world games.
Dang. Are you gonna do a Cyberpunk playthrough?
That is one I want to do. That's one of those like, am I gonna be able to?
Will it turn into a Red Dead playthrough?
Well, it's just like knowing one, how I can play those games and get lost and do everything I'm not supposed to, or get as distracted as possible on everything. If they deliver on what they're promising, like God, it could be 100+ hours of a playthrough. Yeah. That's a lot. I don't even expect anyone to watch that. That's a lot of
video. Yeah, that's a lot of video.
It's a lot of video. So I want to, but I think I'll have to wait until they give like a good estimate, maybe, of like, oh, if you do this, it'll take X amount of time. Because like with Ghost of Tsushima, right before I started, I heard like if you want 100% it, it'll be like 40 to 50 hours. So I 100% it, and sure enough, I think it came out to like 42, 43 hours.
It's not bad.
But so like I had a good estimate. And originally I wasn't going to 100% it pretty much through my playthrough, but again, I get so sidetracked.
Did you 100% God of War?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I never even like thought about it. Yeah. And that one's like a lot more specific.
I played on like the hardest difficulty in that game, and it was insane.
I remember watching that. You didn't even get past like the first, there were like those 3 little tree things, whatever. I remember. You like gave up after like an hour.
Those things were so hard. I had to go to like the lowest difficulty after that, and then I could like maybe kind of get through. And at that point, I was like, I messed up. I need to go back to that game because everybody just says. I
mean, that's one of the games too. Like it doesn't matter. Combat is super satisfying, but if it's holding you back or like whatever, like you have PTSD, throw it to the lowest just for the story. The story alone is worth it.
Well, speaking of story being worth it, today is Thursday, which I mean, okay, but I mean, this is Sunday, but you know what I mean. This is being recorded on Thursday, which means it's the 12th. Nope. Yes, no. Blue. It is the D2 pain hour. Hey, it's all right. Nope. Now you see.
I was trying to figure out where this was going.
It used to be, we have our expert D2 Blue, and it was like, all right.
Like, I know a guy, and he's like, please, no. Like, he hangs up.
And now it's like pure torture. Blue, I haven't looked at the TWAB, and I know you did, so fill us in. What happened? What's going on in our world of Destiny?
Is there really something bad like this week?
It's not like inherently bad. It's just when you put things into perspective, it changes the plans that they laid out for you, right? So, okay. TWAB comes out today. Welcome, Bungie fanatics and Destiny players.
Yes. We stand.
TWAB just came out and it outlines a lot of the Destiny content vault, which they have branded it as, which is obviously you already know how some planets,
I understand now. Okay.
Some activities are going away, and you're probably thinking, wow, this is so great, making room for more stuff in the game, even though none of this stuff should be going away in the first place. I was pretty indifferent for the most part. Sunsetting, okay, if they do it right, which they've already proved they're probably not going to do it right.
They're nailing it.
Destiny content, I was like, that's okay, as long as, the new areas are better.
A single evolving world where it devolves.
I'll be honest with you. I was putting all of it into perspective when I was reading this, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikes going into the Destiny content vault.
It's like all the strikes.
7 strikes, and they're only adding 2 when Beyond Light comes out, which brings the strike count to a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 strikes.
Carry the 1, and that's
in a 4-year-old game. In a coming up on a 4-year-old game. Oh wait, 3-year-old game.
And this was like, and the idea behind this, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, was to like, because they didn't think people would want to keep like storage really high on games, correct?
So they say it's storage. I feel like it's actual game memory. Because I say this all the time, right? Like people will install your game if they love it. Do you see Modern Warfare?
They'll buy servers to download your game.
200 gigabyte game, and it's like so much of that is just BR, right? And it's just like, but people download it every time there's like 100 gigabyte update. People are playing it. Modern Warfare comes out. You see it on Twitter. Another 200 gigabyte update, but people are talking about it and they're playing it.
Download.
It's like, okay, it's got a bad reputation about install size, but you're goddamn right. People are playing the shit out of that game.
That reputation than the reputation of just taking stuff out.
LOL, 4-year game and you'll still only have 12 strikes. LOL. Like,
and then okay, well, that in itself was weird. I mean, losing the planets, that's understandable because a lot of those planets have nothing in them.
Your favorites,
we're losing
Rob,
Mercury. We're losing Mercury. We're losing Titan.
Oh no!
We're losing Mercury, Titan, and Mars. I'm gonna miss Mars. Mars was tight.
Which I still don't understand. That means new players and stuff, but they don't get the Red War campaign at all.
Which is so confusing because so this is another thing to put in perspective, right? There is, with this stuff leaving, there is literally no intro to the game. There is no intro to how to play the game. There is no, well, this is Destiny 2. The Red War was a great intro, right? Like maybe not the best content, right? But it's still a good intro to how the game works. And without that, like, what do people like? Where are people going to start? Like, they're going to start with the new Beyond, like the new light thing, and just throws them in. And it's like, here's your first campaign, Forsaken. Like, what? How are you going to start people on Forsaken? Because Forsaken was one of the deepest.
They're going to be like, who's this robot? Why do I care about him?
Yeah, exactly. Like, who you're going to start with Forsaken? It's such a weird starting point. And in addition to there being so much in Forsaken that they assume you already know, the new player experience is already going to be worse. Awful. Gambit is being merged into the same thing, which they said it was going to be similar to Gambit Prime, which God kill me now. Kill me now if Gambit Prime still has the Gambit Prime sets, because man, I'm absolutely not going to play.
I love my Invader set, dude. What do you mean?
They're losing 2 Gambit maps. To make it even worse, they're vaulting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait, hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 PvP maps into the content vault.
So that leaves us with what? 2?
Quite a few.
The Burning Shrine and
are they just vaulting PvP altogether? Because like I'd be down for that. That'd be like a pretty good idea.
So how many maps are we getting in return then?
6, 7, 8, 9. In return, I don't even know if we're getting new maps in Beyond Light, to be honest.
That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, there has to be.
I mean, they probably just haven't outlined them. We have quite a few PvP maps.
They're probably just taking out all the D2 maps. We're going to be right back to just only D1 maps.
Yeah, and they'll give us a PlayStation exclusive map too that like we'll get like as like, I don't even know if there is one though. If PlayStation has one that we don't right now.
And here is the worst part. And here's the part that really kills me as someone who pushes endgame as far as I can before I stop playing.
Let's go, Blue, push it.
There's 5 raids going into the Destiny content vault. 5 raids. That leaves us with 2 raids in addition to the new one. 3 raids in a 3-year-old action MMO, which is what they classify themselves as. That's just
You're telling me they can't do anything else with that other than picking it out of the game. There's not one thing they could do.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with their what the limitations are because I can't talk on that. But if you look at other MMOs, right? If you said, "Yeah, this MMO's 3 years old. How many raids does it has?" Oh, 3. What?
They better be the dopest 6-hour long raids I've ever seen. You know what I mean?
Well, the bizarre thing too is we'll be getting another one, but it's the D1 raid, which I get it. Some people have never played D1.
Well, Vault of Glass also isn't immediately going to be Vault in Beyond Light.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We'll be getting that later
next year.
But so I assume that'll be our 4th raid, but it'll be a raid every D1 player's already played.
And what do rewards even look like on that? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Because isn't the Fatebringer already kind of a drop, and it's just kind of a different gun now?
Well, the appeal of old raids anyway was getting elemental primaries, which just aren't possible anymore, or elemental kinetics, whatever.
Yeah. There's a lot of problems that arise with this vaulting stuff. So the one sliver of light is that they said they're going to be making a new intro to the game in the Cosmodrome, which is an area that's coming back.
Oh.
My issue is how do you teach Destiny 2 to a new player in what is probably going to be 1 or 2 missions, 1 or 2 intro missions
that I don't get to play.
Maybe more, right?
Player.
How do you teach people how to play the basics of Destiny 2 in 2 hours? Where you have all as soon as someone goes in the tower, I can guarantee you as a new player, they're gonna be like, they just did the new campaign mission. Wow, look at I get loot, new guns. This is my character subclass. Go to the tower, million NPCs. What the fuck do I do? Oh my god!
They'll get to the tower and all they hear is, "Haven't heard from Fenchurch."
Quest.
Eva, Luminous Engram, whatever. I'm like, what?
So all of these things just stockpiled to me, and I realized
the stimulus overload.
And I realized, dude, what the fuck is happening? This isn't normal for this is just not normal for any game that wants to categorize itself as an MMO. I understand getting rid of old content that literally nobody touches. That's fine. Obviously the planets, I can understand that. There's no reason to go to these planets. The problem is it just feels like all of these things are little compromises for a bigger problem. Because the argument that we can't keep making the game bigger and bigger is just so weird to me. And then I keep getting these comments on Twitter that are like, well, would you rather have everything from the past years be just as relevant as the new stuff? And I was like, how's that a bad thing? How is
that'd be great.
How is carrying the stuff that you've had with you that you have earned yourself? We have this weird mindset in the Destiny community that has has pervaded the entire thing where it's too much stuff that's probably a bad thing, and it's when has that ever been a bad thing in Destiny? This game doesn't get that much content, and now we're nah, too much is not good.
Yeah, no one's ever been things to do, that's stupid.
There's too many things to do personally.
You want to have your old content have something to go and be revisited while you do new content, because then it's more reasons to play the game another day. It's oh well, I finished the new quest, but I can still go to do Spire of Stars and maybe go get that ghost cell I've been grinding for. Just stupid shit like that. But now it's nope, vaulted.
It's just confusing because all of these things are well, would you rather have a new player experience be good, or would you rather have the experience for current players be good? Would you rather have content that all your old friends can come back and play, or would you rather have content that works for the people who already play? And it's weird for me because why do all these things have to always be mutually exclusive?
Mm-hmm. Why not both?
It's always exclusive. You can't have this without this. You can't have this without this. And it's a problem that I only see in Destiny, where people are okay with, well, if you can't have this, then you have to have this. And I just don't get it.
Can I ask you this, Blue? How many raids does Final Fantasy have?
So the way I can best describe it is a Final Fantasy raid tier is probably the equivalent of, so there's 4 raids every other patch cycle. So 5.1 was it like the base one obviously came with 4 raids, and then 5.2 you get 4 more raids, and each one is probably like about 10 minutes each. So but 12 raids across an entire patch, like an entire expansion over 12 raids over 2 years is essentially the equivalent of what would be 3 full length like Last Wish Garden of Salvation raids in D2. That's right dope.
Yeah,
but we only get in Destiny what is basically the equivalent of 1 raid tier a year.
Yeah,
which is
not even like close enough to what it should be.
Yeah. I totally forgot where my line of thinking was, because I was talking about Destiny 2, and then we got checking Final Fantasy, and I was like, "Do Final Fantasy's time?"
Why do we think is Beyond Light like bringing? So it's bringing a new raid and maybe
new raid, probably new activities for Europa. The new
are the dungeons gone, or what? What about dungeons? Are those
so the good part is that none of the old dungeons are going away.
Oh, that's good. That's kind of good. I thought some of those would probably.
However, Whisper and Outbreak were not classified as dungeons, so those are going away.
How do they expect you to get those weapons? Are they like?
They're either going to be world drops, or they said there's going to be like a kiosk you can get them in, which I'm assuming they'll be like very simplified exotic quest steps. So we'll see how that works. Yeah. But so bringing it around to the station, my primary concern with this is the same concern I had with sunsetting, which is I really hope this is not just a way for them to bring back old weapons when they can't make new weapons enough to appease, people's content expectations. Which what do they end up doing? They ended up reintroducing stuff like Gnawing Hunger at a new light level and left your old one at a light level that was unattainable, like that had a light level cap. So that already is looking kind of sketchy. My primary concern is similar in that when there's content droughts, instead of making new things for us to do, they're just going to be like, "Hey guys, dude, crazy! This season we're bringing back Mercury, and there's like 1 or 2 new things to do in Mercury," and that's where I get really worried, because I've already had an issue with exotics getting recycled and brought back. Like, look at Outbreak Prime. Buy the ornaments for this old gun. Then they started doing with legendaries, and now it's just that I'm at a weird crossroads where I feel like they're just going to start doing that with legit destinations and old story missions. And it kind of scares me, the precedent that it might set. For all I know, I'm being a little sensitive.
Glass half empty.
I might be like, yeah, glass half empty right now, but with Bungie's track record, it worries me just a little bit.
Wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, I love Destiny, man, but the direction it's currently going just kind of like settled in for me, and it's like I don't know if I'm cool with it.
Dude, I always have people going in my chat and being like, "Rob, are you gonna play Beyond Light? Like, or do you?" It's like, yeah, I'll play it if it's dope. Like, no one wants Destiny to be sick more than me. Like, I want Destiny to be fun to play. It's just not, like, at least for me. And I hope Beyond Light changes that. But like hearing all that kind of stuff, woof, man. Like the whole excuse that nobody's gonna download the game because it's 200 gigs. Like what Blue said. People bitch about having a 60 gig update on Xbox, but guess what? They're bitching about it while they download it. You know what I mean? Like, they're still doing it. I don't think anybody would be like, 250 gigs for my favorite game that I've been playing for 6 years. I can't do it anymore. That's where I cut it. Like, if anything, they're going to like celebrate that rather than be like, oh, that sucks.
The thing that hurts the most is like you and Free, right? Like when you guys come back to D2, there's nothing to come back to. All you have to come back to is like this season's content.
And I heard Solstice is just ass madass.
Yeah, it's the same as it usually is.
I was like, all right, I might go on and get. Okay, nope.
Yeah, I remember that.
Just slightly predatory, but like just enough to where it's like chill, you know.
Where it's
is it just silver?
Oh, the entire event is based around getting the ornament. So yeah, silver event. I mean, the base white one is still pretty tight though. Don't get me wrong. This year's is much better than last year's. Last year was like the fattest bamboozle I've ever seen in a video game. Okay, not the biggest, but like it was a pretty fat bamboozle. Where they're like,
introduce you to No Man's Sky.
Spend $12 on these glows, and then they're like, oh yeah, these will be relevant when come next expansion. Like they'll be like
Day one, you're wearing blues.
Was that when you guys had like made fun of me because I didn't buy them and you guys were all looking glowy and stuff? I think we made a video on it on Iron Man.
You look tight as fuck.
Yeah, we had to tell ourselves it was worth it somehow. Okay.
but then like 3 weeks later, can't even use them anymore. We spent $12 to use them for 3 weeks.
But see, like at that point in time, that was fun because, like what Blue had mentioned, I came back to Destiny and I had seasons of stuff I missed. I could grind it all out, and we talked about this before. But now you hop in, you only get that season because they went way too far on the FOMO, the feeling of missing out. So it's like you play the season or you miss out. That's it. And so you miss. I've missed out for most of it.
Yep. And I'm gonna continue to miss out.
It just would have been tight to think about bringing having you and Fruit come back, and I'd be like, look at all the stuff you guys missed. Like, oh, you missed out on the Season of Undying, the little arena. Look at all these cool new weapons. Can't go do that anymore. I mean, that was lame. Season of Dawn, which is like easily the best season for me.
I feel like that's the one I played most in.
The Sundial, so sick. The mission, the story missions for Saint 14, so awesome. And then the secret mission with the whole community thing, so tight. And all I can do is talk about it because it's not in the game.
Is Biome Labs or whatever? Is that Niobe Labs? Is that staying or going?
That's old.
Oh, that's old.
That was the old season.
Oh, okay.
But those are the armory or forges.
I just want to know if my favorite content was staying, man. That was my absolute
I still
favorite.
think the best one was Opulence, though.
Opulence was...
If every season was like that, there'd be a lot less to complain about.
Opulence was a season, but that's... Like, if you had to ask me between DLCs and seasons, like mid-year DLCs, not like the big expansions, Opulence would have been above all of them. Personally, it's better than House of Wolves, better than Crotazen, better than... Honestly, Opulence is better than Rise of Iron for me. I loved Opulence.
I didn't play it, so...
And you could go back to it. You can go back to it and play it. You could have.
Oh.
Well, some of it's not staying, but you could have gone back, played it. That's what Fruit did.
Yeah, I could have.
You could have. Nice. That was peak. That was Opulence was peak D2 for me.
All right, pain meter, Destiny, Blue. Where are we at?
11.
Nice.
11.
It's starting to settle in, like just where the game's going.
Not only that, I don't think we mentioned it too. The Beyond Light or whatever is delayed up to like 2 months, right, or something.
Till November.
Oh yeah. I mean that's fine with me. I mean,
yeah,
I would rather their new expansion be tight.
Yeah, I don't think you can really blame like a gaming company right now for delaying a game.
Yeah.
Like working at home, I'm sure is definitely not as easy as working in your studio that has all your files and all that kind of stuff.
Although people are still trying to defend, there was like a story that came out about Halo Infinite or Infinity. Which one is it? Infinite? I think it's Infinite.
Infinite.
Came out pretty much saying like they have a house fire currently, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, I can't say who had told me, but I think
you've heard.
I've told you guys what I'd kind of heard myself a while ago. But essentially, 343 and Halo Infinite from the get-go has pretty much been like a woof. And so I didn't have a lot of high expectations. So I was waiting like, I don't know, maybe they've turned around or
they got it together.
Out. And it seems like they stayed on the exact same course I heard about. The game, like people defending like this demo, right? Like, oh, it's old. They're probably new. From what it's pretty much like, no, that's what they got. Last year, for instance, the E3 reveal with that guy we saw in the cutscene with the beard or whatever, and he like finds Chief and stuff. All that was outsourced. None of that was in game. The game didn't even have a playable demo or like anything at that point, I don't think. And apparently 343 the reason it's been having a bad development as well is, one, they've outsourced their project, which a lot of AAAs do. Look at like Bungie, for instance, way back when like Vicarious Visions and all that stuff. They outsource, but apparently they're outsourcing more than anyone ever has. Like outsource, and they're working with so many people. It's so hard to keep it all cohesive.
Yeah.
And on top of that, 343 themselves have evidently been too distracted making sure the new Halo TV or TV series or whatever.
Oh,
I don't know what they're
that.
doing.
That headline, yeah.
But yeah, so they've been paying more attention to that apparently than this flagship Halo game. Wouldn't they?
I'll tell you this, dude. If you fuck up Halo Infinite, I kiss my ass with a TV show, man. Except like if the TV show.
Oh no, I'll still. I mean, I want the TV show to be sick, but like,
would you rather have Halo Infinite be better? Okay, which would you have to have be more successful? Like, I can promise you a successful like TV show or like a very successful video game. Which would you rather have? And I'm talking like Game of Thrones level success with the TV show.
I mean, if we had like some Game of Thrones quality Halo show, I mean, here's the way I see it. Here's the way I see it, though. You get that, and then suddenly you get more people invested in the franchise, and then they'll have to get better at the next game.
But they're not going to.
I don't know. I'd probably take maybe the TV show.
You're breaking my heart, Anakin. You're going down a path that I can't follow you, Mr. Fruit.
I mean, I would like the game to be good, but like honestly, I see the TV series becoming Game of Thrones level more likely than I see
the game having any sort.
I mean,
of like
you know, so what? So be it. Like, at this point, just delay it as long as you need to when you can finally unveil it, and people are like, "That is the next gen Halo." Like that is a step forward for the franchise.
Yeah, whatever they showed that last time was basura.
Yeah. So, again, I don't care how long it takes. I'm just upset, one, that, you know, we've heard about it and they've teased it, and then that's what they choose to reveal, and they're hyping it, and they still had a release date up until, 2 weeks ago that it was going to be out in a couple months with the new console, and all this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just like you said with Destiny, like, if there's anyone that wants the game to be good, like the only reason I'm so upset about Halo is because like it's what I grew up with. Like I care about it. I want it to be great. And that's just why I'm looking at it and it's just like, this ain't it, Chief. Pardon my pun. But like
I see what you did there.
Yeah, but like seriously, like same way like Blue's thinking about like, oh, new players or the experience and what are people gonna think? I'm thinking like people that have been on the fence with Halo, they're gonna look at this and be like, all right, well, I know which side of the fence I'm picking now. Or people that have never played it would be like, what? Or like get on and then maybe. So I don't know.
Any other topics, Mr. Fruit, you want to go over before we go over the Patreon questions? Over the little list there.
Is there anything that we really missed here? Or
no, I think we got everything.
Yo, before we go.
Oh, no, yeah.
We do need to talk about two real quick things. One, Epic Apple.
Oh.
The absolute Godzilla versus King Kong Titan slugfest. Dude, I don't know what's going to happen here.
I would compare it to... I don't know. I'd compare it to a regular gorilla versus like Godzilla.
So for those who don't know, right? For those of you who are a little out of the loop, this was a huge deal.
It got worse.
It got exponentially worse. So obviously, Epic versus Apple. Epic wanted to have in like direct to Epic transactions in Fortnite. Is what it is. Apple was like, Fortnite off the store. It got worse. Now Apple actually pulled every game that uses the Unreal Engine off of their store, or they plan on it, or did they already?
No, so what?
I don't even know.
From what I understand, they're not pulling anything. They're not taking it away. But what's going to happen is they took away Unreal Engine and Epic's developer rights and stuff. So what it means is,
no, you're right. Yeah, I was wrong.
Unreal Engine, like let's say they update to iOS 10.11, whatever they're on, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
they're no longer able to update their game to stay playable on new things because they no longer have access to the developer kits and licenses or whatever. So every game that now runs on Unreal will not be able to stay up to date. That's the problem. So now every Unreal game, like the biggest one I can think of is PUBG Mobile. That runs on Unreal. And I'm sure there's more.
There's a huge market for that.
There's the Unreal Engine is just, I mean, even on iOS, so many devs use Unreal. It's just it's just a huge game industry. Everyone uses it. It's because it's so accessible for everyone. The fact that Apple's just like, I see that. Yeah, it'd be a shame if.
I mean, Apple's gonna win, right?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't see any other.
Well, the only way I see this though is Epic and their lawyer team and everything would not have gone through this if they didn't somehow see a pretty surefire way, or they were pretty confident that they had something that they could. Because I doubt they're like, I don't know, let's wing it and hope we get the support of the people or something. I'm sure they have something that they can stand their ground on. I have no idea, and odds are we won't know the full effect of this because once it goes to court, it's going to get drawn out. So who knows when we'll figure out what exactly is going to happen from it all. But right now, yeah, it's just a mess. And the thing too is if it does go to court and stays like that and goes for a long time, then all those people with Unreal Engine and everything are just dead in the water.
Oh man.
And unfortunately, people who didn't ask to be this or just doing their thing are caught in the crossfire. And it just sucks.
So my theory personally is that Epic did this to try and be like, hey, Apple, so we're Epic Games. We're kind of a big deal. Your profit margins for devs are a little unfair. If you could kind of stop the entire pay to develop on your platform, that'd be nice and make it a little more fair. And then Apple was like, psych. And then they just blew it up. Just went nuclear.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. And like,
I get why they said that though.
Everyone likes to be like, yeah, Epic, that's my $1 billion company. Like, at the end of the day, they don't have our interests best at heart, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there's some of it, but like, it's
one billionaire company throwing billions of dollars.
There's a trillion. I'd have to think Apple's
valued at $2 trillion.
No?
Yeah. They got to $2 trillion.
So they're a $1 trillion company. And it's just like huge slugfest. And people are pretending to be like, yeah, this or yeah, that. At the end of the day, Epic's doing what's best for them. And then, I mean, I have no doubt that they have good intentions too, because that's essentially Epic Games Store. They wanted competition, and Epic Games Store has less of a share than Steam. It's pretty much the exact same thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to do mobile. Like, hey, let's make our own app store or whatever. Because right now, like if I have an Apple phone, the only way you can develop and release something is going through the App Store. There's no other way. But if I'm on PC and, even though Steam is pretty much like monopolized just because people use it, I could go anywhere. I could go to itch.io. I could use Epic Games Store. I could use Origin. I could use these other things.
Mm-hmm. Epic phone.
Bomb.
Epic
but so phone. They're playing at some angle there. And it'll just... I didn't have that on my 2020 Apocalypse Bingo board, so.
I did.
Oh. Bingo.
Yeah. Yep. Nope, right? Not yet. I'm at the G.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Looking for the O.
And then with that, I think, is there anything else we want to talk about?
I want to, there is a new tier. Well, not tier, I guess. It's just more add-on for the GG Easy Patreon list. The Minecraft server has been converted, or my personal Minecraft server has been converted to the new GG Over Easy Patreon server. And all you have to do is subscribe to the $5 tier, and it's included in that. So if you do any tier above it, it's just included in it. And it's been popping off, bro. We literally have like 20 people in it at all times. It's sick. We have new plugins. We have all kinds of stuff. And like, I know you wanted to do that one video where it was like, give 100 plots to a bunch of people. And now we have a plugin where like we can give plots of land and stuff like that. And then like they can only build in that 25 by 25 and move within that 25 by 25. And then like we can open it and turn off the whitelist. And then we've made it so like there's a glass dome. So they just spawn. You set the spawn there. So they just spawn there. It's 5 head, dude. If you like Minecraft and you're looking for a way to connect with people, just check out the Patreon page, connected to the Discord, and go into the Minecraft server. That's a plug. Yeah, it's a plug. It's sick. And I know a lot of people are in here. Have done it, and it's a lot of fun.
And best of all, you get to support the podcast too.
Yeah, exactly. You get the best of both worlds.
Delete that.
Let's move on to Hannah Montana.
You got the best of both worlds.
Oh, now all of a sudden you're like,
with the show or something.
Okay. Oh, this actually is really funny. So shout out to all of our Patreon stands. This first question is from Punk. Says, how often do you guys handle technical issues that are involved with your PC? This was asked yesterday. So like they did not see that happening or anything.
You want to answer that, buddy?
Yeah, you want to answer that, Mr. Fruit?
Speaking of which, if you joined the Patreon, you could have seen it live. Because you could have seen before we record. But no, forget joined in. All right, let's get this podcast going. Camera's not working. Just flickering green all over the place. No idea. Restart my PC, it's not working. Can't figure it out. Finally fix it somehow, yanking cords here and there. I'm like, sick. All right, let's get this going. Then I realized, wait, my keyboard's not working. For no reason. It's lit up and everything, and I have 2 PCs set up, same keyboard swapped to the other PC. It's working fine. So now I figure out, why isn't my keyboard, which is identified on my PC, not working? Then we had to go through all that, and again, just randomly works. I swear to God, I deal with it every day. There's something new every day.
Yeah. And then you can talk about, like, I think you've talked about the hour and a half. Every hour and a half will be a freeze.
Every hour and a half, my PC freezes for 10 seconds.
That's someone who has put so much money into their PCs, yet continues to have so many technical issues. Like, you would think the more money you put in, the less issues you would have, right?
Nope. It's inverse.
Mr. Fruit says, "Hey,
you know the hot and crazy scale of girls?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the hotter they get, supposedly, like the crazier they get, the more expensive your PC gets, the more problems you have.
It's seriously
go up that curve.
I mean, the only times I really ever have issues with my PC is when Windows updates. Now, when Windows updates, there's always something wrong. Either like my microphone has been changed to default instead of being in my Focusrite. Like, there's something that changes it. So it's normally Windows that changes it, not my PC. Like, I don't have like that hardware issues, but it's more so Windows issues. What about you, Blue?
I really don't come across PC issues too often. I had a hard drive issue a couple of months ago, and I was like, this is it. My PC's going to die. This is it. It's over. I have to buy a whole new PC. My hard drive's crashing.
I was prepared for this.
So what actually happened was it just had a really weird boot because my power went out, and I was just like, fucking whatever. I'll just get off and I'll go to sleep for the night because power outage. Like, I hate myself. Like, this is the worst.
I'm in the 1700s again. I'm sad.
God, the world is over.
I can no longer see color. Oh.
So I rebooted my PC the next day. Obviously, it had like a really weird boot, and the hard drive didn't boot with it. And I was like, "This is over. My life is over."
Did you have blue screen frowny face?
No, it was just when I logged into my PC, it was fine because my SSD is my main one, right? It's the main C drive, and my hard drive is my D drive, like my storage drive. But I was like, dude, if I don't have my D drive, like I can't store shit. Like most of my games are on my D drive. My SSD is only like 250 gigs. Like, what do I do with that? So I had to freak out, and I was like, well, I guess I have to
I think I remember messaging you about that.
Back up some shit, and now my world's I gotta go install a new hard drive, and this is gonna be great. Then like I literally just reset my PC, and it was fine. haven't had that issue. Haven't had the issue of the hard drive not starting up or being connected to the just not registering.
Just take.
Haven't had that issue since.
Yeah, take that dub.
I'll take the dub. Haven't had that problem since that happened. So
Were you about to add something, Christian?
I forgot, but I think I was.
Probably. She's on me because I do that. You get lost so quick, dude, when someone's talking. I do it all the time.
We get a question from Arnav. It says, do any of you guys have any experience with simulation games? Any thoughts on the Microsoft Flight Simulator?
Yeah, I knew that was gonna come up.
I haven't really ever played a simulator. I mean, I've never played like Farming Simulator. I guess I've never really played Sims. No, like I'll just go drive my car if I want to like go do that. You know what I mean? Like
there's the ice trucker one that's new.
Yeah, I just don't get, but like Flight Simulator, that's because I can't fly a plane. So like that's something I would be totally interested in. But like I would need like the pilot kind of stuff because my dad is an airline mechanic, and back in the day, before 9/11, you were able to go to the flight simulators, like you could just bring family into like the airlines like flight simulators, and they were so cool. And I used to like watch my dad like show me like all the buttons and stuff like that, and it was always like his dream and whatnot to have like one of those kind of rooms. So we're actually gonna try and set up like one of the rooms at my parents' house is gonna be like his like flight simulator room. But dude, you want to know how papega my dad is? He's like, I show him like an IGN review of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and he's like, oh my God, Robert, it looks so good. And my computer runs it so great. Like it looks crystal clear. And I go, what do you mean? And he goes, well, you told me it's not going to be able to run it because he has like a Mac desktop, the ones that cost like $3,000 that are just stupid. And I told him not to get it. So, and he goes, but you told me it wasn't able to run it. And I watched that video and other videos of people playing it, and my computer ran it great on YouTube. And I was like, Dad, that's not like, I was like, but your computer's not like running the game. I was like, sure, you can watch like a YouTube video and I was like, it's just processing the YouTube video. I was like, it's not processing like the trees. I was like, you're not like, I was like, Dad, your computer would explode. And I was like, it's just like, that's how it would go. It was just so we're gonna try and set him up with like some peripherals and stuff like that. And I think around Christmas he's gonna try and get like a nice high end PC.
Well, I say for $3,000, hopefully you can watch YouTube HD. And most of the HD that just comes down to internet. So
well, you know him too. He was literally like, Robert, it was running it great. It looked so nice. Is that what it's gonna look like when I play it? And I was like, no. I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, no, I don't really have any experience with any simulation games. I get the appeal to some people. It can be something you've never done before, or it can be something you're very, very familiar with. It can be really calming. Like the people that just do like farming simulation stuff. Like it can be really cathartic or fun, but I've just never really been interested. Not even really in this flight simulator. I don't know. Just never really piqued my interest. No.
What about you, Blue?
It's pretty big on Roller Coaster Tycoon back in the day, Cafe. That's a sim, right?
Well, if that's the case, then yes, but I wouldn't. I did. Facetious. That was my jam, though.
Yeah, Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Used to have that floppy disk, bro. Sick.
But nah, Blue, no flight simulator.
Oh man, I honestly, Sims in general, I just haven't really like.
Yeah.
I mean, why play simulation when we're already living in one? You know.
The only thing close I've come to on a sim is like Forza, but Forza's.
Yeah, it's like a racing. But we can't go drive a Ferrari. You know what I mean? Like, I get that.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess I don't know if those are classified as sims. I mean, I feel like there's still like leniency.
I feel like
I feel like those are obviously meant to be fairly close to like actual driving. So I mean, the closest thing I've come to Sims is driving sims, like, but Forza is not like a true driving sim.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess as far as the driving part, I guess it's kind of close. But then I would imagine you'd have to then take it back to the shop and open up the hood and take out a part and put in another part and
like a straight up sim, yeah.
But yeah, I guess like in the cabin, like driving especially with how far it's gotten. It's pretty good, I guess. Yeah.
This next question is from Z Train. It says, "What trip will you take post COVID?"
I want to go to Japan.
Yeah, I'd like to go to. I mean, I'm gonna assume we're not allowed to go anywhere like that for a while, so I'd probably just say like California or something like that. But if I'm allowed to go like out of the country, somewhere like Iceland or something like that.
Oh yeah, Reykjavik.
What about you, Blue?
Nowhere. My home is my vacation.
Nice.
Dude, vacation costs money. I don't have money.
Yeah. It's Estonian. Says, when you started out in streaming / content creating, what were some of the hurdles you had to go through to make it easier or more enjoyable? I think one thing I had to do to like make content like creation, like I wouldn't say like easier, probably just like, I don't know, make it almost like it's not a job or just like I'm still playing video games. It's just like try and play with Christian or Blue or the guys as much as possible, because then like sure I'm getting content and stuff, but it doesn't even feel like I'm playing the game to get content at that point. It just feels like I'm just playing a game at that point, and like the content is like a secondary part of it. That like I'm not primarily doing this video or recording and playing with these guys to get content. It's kind of just we're playing the game and the content just comes from it.
I'm not entirely sure. Just so broad, like make it easier in like what sense? I mean, make it easier as in like doing the content. It comes with time. You get better at it. Easier as in like editing. Again, time, practice. If you're not enjoying it, then I would say don't do it. Like if you're just starting out and you're not enjoying it, and you're thinking to yourself, "Oh, I'll enjoy it when more people are watching." But then I would argue that's probably the wrong mindset to already have going into it. Because like a lot of other jobs out there, especially now starting out, it has to be a passion project.
Yep.
Because if you're going to come into it trying to make money or something like that, like you're setting yourself up for failure. Like statistically speaking, you know, you have to be a unicorn essentially. So it's not easy. And so yeah, if you're starting out and you're like, I don't even like this, then I would say either try something different, you know, maybe something like, let's say you're trying YouTube and maybe you don't like that, live stream or vice versa or something. But otherwise, yeah, maybe it's just not your thing, and that's totally fine.
Blue?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, if you need to love it before you pursue it as a career. Like I know a lot of people are like, man, my career path, I want to be a streamer. Well, no one starts off being a streamer. No one starts off popping off. A lot of people, like look at Ninja. It took that dude 10 years to like blow up. I mean, and even before that, I mean, he was still making a decent living off of it, but that took him an incredible amount of perseverance to get to that point. So it's not really a glamorous job until, and even when like you get to the point where you're making money off it, which, I mean, I was.
It's not like a guarantee.
99%, 99.9% of people who do content creation cannot make a living off of it. And even when you get to the point where you're get a pretty comfortable living, I mean, Mr. Fruit example 1, like he doesn't just make YouTube content because he's like, well, this would be a nice little look at all this money I'm making. I love making videos and I love the people I make videos for, so I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah. This next question is from Aussie B. Oh,
I have a little side note. Yeah.
Okay.
Recently with my therapist, he said, right now, if YouTube just stopped, what would you do? And I essentially said, lie down and cry. He's like, well, what would you want to do? Like, where do you see yourself after this? Like, I don't.
Don't even ask me that again, Doc. How about that?
I'd be right back to where I was in college. Just existential crisis 24/7. Like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with myself? Where am I headed in life? Is this the right? Is this the wrong? Thankfully, this came along. But yeah, that just reminded me, like, I do it because I love it, and it's the only thing in life that like speaks to me.
And thank you for thanks for supporting us. This question is from Aussie B, and this is for fruit mainly, but I think Blue also is going to play into this because it says TCG. So I don't know if this is a Pokemon pack or another pack. I don't know. It says, are you planning on / or have you gotten any Darkness Ablaze packs? And would you ever consider doing pack openings or more TCG videos such as deck buildings on other channels?
I have not. I actually didn't buy the previous set either. Mainly because it's a problem. Because I spent a lot of money on every set. And at first it was under the illusion like, I'm going to get back into the card game and I'll play competitively. But that hasn't happened. I don't really have time. And now it's certainly not happening. So I realized I'm dropping a lot of money, and while the cards are cool, like if I really wanted to collect, I think I'd save more money if I just bought every card of the set individually. And collected.
But what's the fun in that? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like what is the fun in that?
But so at that point, I was like, okay, I have a problem. Maybe I should just stop. So that's what I've done. I've gone cold turkey.
You're not gonna stop, but you bought Hearthstone packs. You're gonna buy Pokemon packs.
But see, even that money I dropped on Hearthstone is like a drop in the puddle for a card game experience.
Are you serious?
Card games are expensive.
100%.
So, for instance, Hearthstone, was it like $70 for 60 packs?
Yes.
Pokemon, $110 for 32.
Oh my god.
Now, granted, like the cards, well, no, I wouldn't even, because at least in Hearthstone you have better odds of getting multiple.
Like legendary.
Pokemon has a lot of filler cards. The point being, and I mean that compared to like Magic is a drop in the pond. Like card games are expensive, man.
Yeah, I guess. So, Blue, have you gotten any packs?
I had to cold turkey it, dude, because
really
there was points where like I would be like new stuff would come up and I'd be like, God, like the new Dragapult pack's coming out, like, and then I would go on TCG Player and I'd be like, oh, the new Dragapult, I could buy 3 of them. It would only be like $40. And at that point, it's like, I got at some point I have to call it quits. I have to say I will not buy any more Pokemon cards. 1, I don't have the money to do it. 2, this is a little unhealthy.
Kept lying to myself. I'm going to compete soon.
I'm going to help with you guys and your guys' addiction. I'm not going to buy Pokemon packs either.
Hey, thanks, Rob. That's huge. Coming from you.
Rob. Thank you for the solidarity.
Yeah. I'm going to help you guys in your guys' battle.
Blue and I were struggling, but now.
Yeah.
Now that we have you, man.
I will lead the way in not buying Darkness Ablaze packs.
Thank you, Rob.
Because what's the super cool card in that one?
Darkness Ablaze.
Oh, is that
G-Max Charizard, I believe.
Oh, I might get some card packs now. I might get some Darkness.
I'm about to act up.
You guys just said Charizard, like. But yeah, that'll do it for the GG Easy questions, which means that'll do it for this episode of GG Over Easy.
Episode 51.
Next year. Next episode will be 1 year. We made it. Pandemic and all. What, Mr. Fruit?
As I did that mosquito flew right in front of me.
Oh, I was like, I thought you just looked at the audio recording and you had not been recording or something. That would have been very scary.
No, you would have heard the classic like, oh no.
Blue, where can everybody find you on the internet?
You guys find me everywhere at BlueWestlo.
Oh, I was like, wow, you can just find them everywhere, huh? You guys can find me somewhere.
And you can find me nowhere. With that said, thank you very much for listening to the GG Over Easy podcast. We appreciate you for listening, watching, supporting, however you consume this content. We appreciate you, and we appreciate our Patreon stands. Thank you very much, everybody. Been a pleasure. We'll see you next week. Uno Año. That is a year, I believe. Año?
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
Blue?
Yeah, Blue is Año year.
Año is year.
Nice. Mr.
Let's
Fur,
go,
congratulations.
dude.
2 for 2 on Spanish. We
level
said
3.
basura is trash and año is year. We're
It's like
2
a
for 2.
decade ago, dude. Let's go.
Can we get 4 for 4 next week?
Nuts. See you then.